Hey, AfterBuzzers, you're watching the Married at First Sight After Show, Episode 6, Moving In. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, it is back. The theme song, the actual song for the show. It's All or Nothing, and we are here tonight ready to talk about moving in with the couples, and we are super excited, aren't we?
Yes. Am I the only one that does not know this song?
It is the opening song.
I know, but I don't know I don't know the words.
You know that none of the participants ever knew the words, and then last year when we started singing it, they were like, "Oh, stop pulling back! It's All or Nothing."
Yeah, I never knew. Do you?
Yes, it's a great song.
She's like, I just smile.
Before we get started about the song and about everything moving in, let's introduce ourselves. Hi, it's me, Heather Yerrid. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Heather Yerrid. And to my left, Desola, please introduce yourself, darling.
What's up, everyone? How's it going? My name is Desola Balogun. Once again, Desola Balogun, in case you don't know. You can follow me everywhere at Desola_B. And next to me is the beautiful
Tessa Cevaal. You guys can find me on all social media at Tessa_Cevaal.
I love it.
She was waiting for me to say it. She's like, the beautiful what?
Come on, Desola.
And unfortunately, we do not have Allie here tonight. She is on the East Coast visiting her family, so we will miss you greatly, Allie, and look forward to seeing you next week. So starting off with A's, let's start off with talking about A squared. Now, we finally get off the honeymoons, which was I don't know how many hours that was, and it was maybe 4 days, thank God. But I just want to point something out. We've been talking about Ashley referring to babies and pregnancy, all this stuff, but Anthony was the one that brought it up at dinner. Did you guys notice that?
Yes, but that was like after she brought it up 10 times.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that she did that. I thought that they had sat down to dinner and he was like, "So, kids, what do you think? When?"
No, they had spoken about it before. Remember at the beach and other times.
Oh.
But no, he said, "When do you want to have kids?" Because she's brought up the fact that she wants kids many times.
But he brought it up at dinner.
Yeah, because she brought it up so many times. So he's like, "Okay, speaking about this kid thing, you
When
keep
do you
talking about it. When you
okay.
trying to have kids, you know?"
I guess that's a good time because they're drinking wine or they're drinking in general, so he wants to keep it light, maybe.
Well, that's not light, but
What's not light? Having drinks and talking about babies?
kids, no, it's not light. But being that she speaks about it so much, it only makes sense that he would bring it up.
I mean, he is a phenomenal communicator. The one thing that I kept writing down on the piece of paper tonight was the fact of how he receives her in conversation, how he picks and chooses his battles, and when he knows something is when he goes, about the parking even, I'm jumping ahead, but just real quick, he said it "Oh, you mean a parking spot for you?" Even though that was, he had some energy behind it, the way he handled her was just amazing.
It was a little dig.
Yeah, but it was
like a joke too, probably.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, so you don't care about where I park?" Okay.
I just love it. I think that all three of these men and the women, to be honest with you, are prepared and ready. And it's a big, big, big exciting thing for me, at least. But you know what wasn't exciting? Cody saying, "Let's just be friends on the honeymoon." Talk to me. What did you guys think about that?
Okay, so I did not notice him saying that last week. I think they saved that for this week. And that, when he said that, I was like, my literal reaction was, I was like, oh, no, don't say that one. Because, when you're the nice guy, you already get friend zoned, just by girls in general because you're a little shy and, they just look at you as a friend. And she's already kind of put that out there okay, you need to be more aggressive. So telling your wife that you just want to be friends after you're already married probably is not the best bet. But I like that he went back and redeemed himself and said, "Look, lady, I apologize. That's not how I meant for it to come out." I think he really did mean for it to come out that way, but he told his mom. His mom's like, "What are you doing?" I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Cody, is that what happened?
I mean,
we want you to tweet us and let us know when you're watching this tomorrow morning when you wake up.
I mean, he did mention his mom. So I was talking to my mom about it. So
thank God he's got a mom to talk about with it. Yeah. I thought it was not a good thing either to say the just friends. I didn't understand when he said, I'm used to saying things that other people want to hear. So when I'm trying to say what I want to say, it doesn't come out right. So you already said that you just don't. You think he meant what he said, and it just didn't. His mom was like, "What are you doing?" Do you think that? Do you think he actually meant that?
That he says what people...
Oh, no. That he wanted to be, he was like, that was the way that he wanted to pull back. Let's start as friends.
Yeah, I feel like he just wants to start off slower, and he just worded it wrong.
Yeah.
I think he just... You know what I'm saying? It just didn't come out right.
Mm-hmm.
But I see obviously why you'd want to start slow, but with something like this, you kind of just got to dive right in at the same time.
Yeah, other couples have had, really the let's be friends thing is centered around sex, to be honest. Okay, we see in season 1, Jamie and Doug, she wasn't that attracted to him. But the whole thing was, let's develop and cultivate a relationship. We saw that season 4 also with Nick and Sonia. It was like, we want to be friends. We want to get to know each other. And here, I don't think it's a whole thing of not being attractive. I just think it's a lack of initiators, which we've said before. But I was very worried that by the end of the show, they're the only ones they're not like hugging yet. They're not necessarily calling husband and wife. It's like they're speaking about getting to know each other. They're the only couple that's not talking about being married. It's referring to themselves as a married couple. Is anyone else noticing that?
Well, there's a lot of
That's
awkwardness.
a great point to bring up.
Yeah. So it's just it's a little bit frightening, but I have to say that Danielle is really taking this like a lady. She's receiving everything. She's being very chill. She's like very understanding. Even I'm watching her, because as a coach, you watch nonverbal cues all the time. I'm watching them. Her nonverbal cues are even great. Like, she is really holding herself together here. So that takes a lot.
This is what I will say from watching the show, watching them two. I feel like Cody is he's just very shy, and I feel like I can relate to him. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm a little shy, like when it comes to that kind of thing. Well, especially if I'm on TV, I'd be like, oh my God, like, this is weird, I probably would be like him, like, this is awkward. Not as bad, but I'm just saying. So I'm trying to think of where he's coming from it. I think he really does like her.
Yes.
And I think he's just uncomfortable because he doesn't know her. He had, like I said, he had the insecurities from before, from him being overweight and all this other, all of that. He didn't confirm it, but it's true. Come on.
Yeah.
And then just the whole situation, I feel like it's just uncomfortable for him, and he handles it a little differently than she does. But he obviously, I think he does really like her.
I do too.
And I like that she is taking control in the sense of, she keeps bringing it up. Like, look, I want this to work, and I want you to be more aggressive, because a lot of women do not say anything.
Yes.
A lot of women just expect you to know what's wrong, and they'll just like either break up with you or just get mad. And one thing that women always do, they always want to tell all their friends about the issue instead of telling you.
Okay, first of all, that's not true. That is not all women, because that's definitely not me.
A lot
I
of
don't know
women.
about you,
A
but
lot
that's
of
not
women.
me.
I mean, a lot.
Right, a lot.
Is it not true?
I mean,
like you tell your girlfriends before you'll tell him.
On a general
No way.
scale,
Because
I
just
think
like Pastor Cal
yes,
said.
but not all.
Yeah, but you have a different energy. I
do.
like your energy. I tell you that all the time. You're very like upfront, and
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of women aren't like
Yeah, a
that
lot of
because
women
they
aren't
feel
like
like they should be more like the man should be the one to bring things up.
Yeah.
So the fact that Danielle is bringing everything up, I like it, just because he probably wouldn't know if she didn't say anything.
And he's receiving it so well. I mean, he's not taking offense to it. He's not snapping back. He's just receiving it. I mean, you see the uncomfortability a little bit, but it's still, again, as much as I'm concerned because they're not referring to each other as husband and wife, I'm loving how, I don't want to say relaxed, but just how at peace it seems. Yes, it's awkward, but there is a peace to this relationship where I'm confident that they're going to keep it together. Now, speaking of having peace, Nate and Sheila, right at the end of the honeymoon, I'm sorry, I have to just say this. I tweeted it out already. First of all, Nate, again and again and again, you're killing me. And we'll talk about your outfits because I love that too. But you literally went to her, said, what do I do? Like, tell me how do I make this work for you? You put her first. You immediately tried to support her needs, and then you asked her to pray. I started crying.
Legit, she started crying.
She did. Tears.
I was like,
Tears.
is she really crying right now?
I mean, but that was amazing. Like, did you guys feel that? Like, that immediately, Sheila got hit hard, okay, last episode from us and everybody else, but a woman who is high maintenance or that doesn't want to make something work or that always has her way, if he would have asked to pray, she would have been like, no, we're not praying. You need to talk to me. No. As soon as he said, let's pray, she goes, you want to pray? And they just, it shifted everything and I lost it. I really hope America sees, like, again, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but there has to be a connection and some foundation of faith, no matter what that looks like, that, I'm done. I don't care if I see
She's
one
not
other
lying,
thing.
by the way. She literally was crying.
Yes.
And I was like, are you serious? And she was serious. So
I couldn't help it.
This is one thing I've taken from the beginning of the show. I feel like you want to date Nate.
Oh my God, no.
Honestly.
No.
he's the only guy that like you talk about him all the time. Like, oh Nate, oh yes,
okay,
Nate.
because
Nate,
there's things that Nate do that I like. But I mean, if you want, I can talk about the other two
I'm
as
just
well.
saying,
I
love Nate.
I love Cody because he is so innocent.
If Nate was single, would you?
No, absolutely not.
No?
Nope, he is not my type. He is not my type.
What's your type?
This show is not about me.
Oh, okay. We're just asking.
I have a history. I tend to date the same men that are like Lebanese and Iranian and that dark complected, dark hair, dark eyed type. But that hasn't worked
Nate
for me.
is dark complected. He has dark eyes and he has dark hair.
I'm not going for that anymore. I'm going for the opposite because it doesn't work for me.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not even going for anything. I'm not even like looking. But let's shift it back to what the show's about. Which is not Heather Yerrid, but about Married at First Sight. So no, I do not want to be in love with Nate or be with Nate. Desola, don't start shit. Sheila, I love you, girl. I love y'all's dynamic. But yes, I started crying. I think it's important. I think that the reason I do talk about them so much is that I'll be honest with you to answer that. Nate, I get stereotyped because of my shell, because of pictures. There's no pictures of me in bikinis or anything. It's generally my face and other things that I talk about with quotes. I get stereotyped by default because I am the one to speak up and say something. And just the way that I look. Nate, to me, seems like the type that would be labeled Rico Suave, that would be judged by the way he comes off. So to see him show up so polar opposite of how he most likely is judged, it moves me. And I resonate with that story because it's very similar. Sheila as well. She reminds me of my sister's best friend, Gina. Even when she was answering questions about like, oh, you pick out things at once, like you pick up pieces along the way. At first I was like, oh, she doesn't seem too energetic, but I was like, oh, that's her. She's just direct. She knows what she wants. And you also can get judged there. So that is why I'm always referring to them often, is because I kind of relate with that story. So to me, it makes sense. Does that?
And this isn't the Heather Yerrid show. No, I'm joking. She's like, it's not about me. That reminds me of my sister's friend. I relate to that. Blah, blah, blah.
You brought it up.
I'm just saying. So you guys, I'm going to do something a little different today that I have not done so far this entire season. I just want to say you guys need to get in those chats because...
What's it, 2 o'clock in the morning where they are? Oh, and by the way, on that note, I'm just saying, on that note, I don't mean to digress and then we'll go back to the show. We are changing the time of the show so we can satisfy the audience on the East Coast and in Central Time. So next week we will be going live, not so great, but midnight EST, and it'll be 11 in Chicago time, right? Central time zone.
And 9 o'clock here, just so you guys know. You got to tell them.
Yeah, yes. I know Pacific. We have LA fans too. Yes, thank you, Desola, for bringing that up.
So yeah. This is what I'm doing different. I'm going to go to the tweets of the Married at First Sight cast and see what they're saying about tonight's episode. So, Ashley Petta, one of our favorites, probably our number one favorite, she says, I wasn't planning on having kids in the next 7 weeks. What does Anthony not understand about a year? Question mark, exclamation mark. And then she does like the little eye roll, like, oh my God, And then she says, I'm just going to start saying yes when people ask me if I'm pregnant yet. Hashtag food baby, hashtag too many tacos, hashtag taco baby. All right. But everything she's talking about, pregnant
baby,
and
baby.
Yeah. So come on. That's why they're asking. All right. So then we're going to go to Danielle DeGroot, Cody's wife. Friend. All right. So she says, to reiterate, Ashley is shoe goals. I want cowboy boots in every nook and cranny of my place. Hashtag country girl.
Ooh, what a coincidence. And her husband is a country boy.
She's embracing the life. And then also she says, but seriously, what do we got to do to get Homie and Dude a spinoff? Married at First Sight, Crazy Dog Mom. Homie and Dude. Oh, those are her dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Last
but not least, let's go to Cody. Cody says, I really like that. This is my favorite one. I got myself a sugar mama. Ha ha ha. That's what I'm talking about, Cody.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad that I read that.
Yeah.
And then last but not
list.
least,
it's on the list.
He says, someone says, Cody is shockingly awkward. They tweeted that, and he said, hell yeah, I'm still weird as hell. You should see me in public. He has a good personality.
Yes.
I like this. He's embracing it.
Yes. Everyone knows their own stuff, and when it's on TV, it's magnified. I think this whole season 5 cast is really handling the social media stuff well. Mm-hmm. You know what else they handled well? The move-ins. Let's just flow right into that. So Danielle, right? She was nervous about, what is it, Dude and Homie? Is that the name of the dogs, Dude and Homie?
Is that Danielle? Is that their name?
Danielle, yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, come on. You know what, Desola? Come on, Tessa, talk to me, girlfriend. So they get to each other's places, and this is finally when she gets Cody in a manly man manner, because he's a dog whisperer. Were you guys surprised? Do you think he was going to cower back from those crazy ass dogs?
No, because he grew up on a farm. I mean, he's very familiar with animals, right?
Yes.
I mean, he went to a chicken coop to pick out eggs.
That was amazing.
I mean, if he can do that, I think he can be around a dog.
I can't believe there's roommates. Like, both people, I don't remember roommates in the past, but Danielle had a roommate. Cody technically has a roommate because he's roommates his mom, his family. Yeah, and then I think Anthony had a roommate too.
Yeah.
So all three couples decided to get a new place, whether it was size or roommate. They all decided to get a new place. Now, I know that the show budgets that out. So if they're living in another place, the show actually provides them a budget that aligns with what they're currently paying right now to like support them in that manner to make it a lot safer.
Because I was going to say they have to. The show has to work something out where they can do a small 7-week lease.
Yeah, 8-week. Yeah,
or whatever it is. You know, like the insider scoop here at AfterBuzz, as you can see.
AfterBuzz exclusive.
Yes.
Yes.
We've got to talk about the finances.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
Well, we're talking about moving in. That was before moving in.
No, move in and then finances. You know, let me just roll with it. Can you just
I'm
flow
sorry.
with the show, baby? Can you just flow with the show?
I thought they talked about finances before they moved in.
No, can we flow with the show?
Flow.
Maybe they did talk about finances.
They did. She took it personal though.
No.
I'm pretty sure they went to look at an apartment. I'm pretty sure they talked about it first. Then went to look at apartments. Am I right?
Yeah, I can't
Wait,
remember.
really quick though, I loved how Danielle loved Cody's farm and house.
Yes.
I thought that was
about
actually really sweet.
Me too.
Because I didn't think she would. I don't know why I didn't think she would, but she was like touched by it and just made me touched by it.
Yes, she was so open. That's what I'm saying. She's been really chill through this whole process, like how to receive this, how he's using his language. I think she understands that there's a difference. I hate to say this, but there's a difference in age and there's a difference in experience, and they're handling it very, very well. And when they went to see, I loved it. It's like Sheila and Nate too. Like Nate on the way over to Sheila's house was funny. He was so excited that people were looking at his wedding ring. And when he got over there praying that she was neat, she was neat. Now I'm curious, if you guys go to someone's apartment, would you be able to pull out like 3 characteristics about the person? He said she's neat, she's organized, and she's a warm person. Could you tell that from somebody from their place?
I think so.
Yeah, could you tell that they were warm?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
No, that's stupid. Exactly. I'm with you. Like that's just that's another one of those lines that people use. I can tell that she's a warm person because she used all warm colors in her house. Like
No, I think it's more like when you're a warm person, you create a warm environment.
Ah, good call, Tessa. I
Like
never
if
thought
you're
about
kind
it like
of
that.
like aggressive and hard, like you probably don't have like a million fluffy pillows in your house.
Maybe.
Right?
I don't know. Desola, do you?
have a million fluffy pillows in my house.
That went over. Let's talk about finances since Sheila is so excited. I just want to start it off with this. All 3 women are the breadwinners. Yes. Now, I am not a feminist, and contrary to what people probably think, I'm not a feminist. I don't think that's I'm not like, woo, yay, women for life. But I was very impressed. I was very, something about me was excited about that. Were you guys surprised?
First thing I thought was, wow, so it might not be true because they always say women make less money, but all of these women made more money than the guys did.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, well, that is true. That's a true statistic that I can't.
I believe it. It was just in this instance that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, okay, look at them stepping up the game.
Yeah. I didn't know if it had anything to do with their careers, like exactly what they were into and what they were doing, but I found it interesting. Again, everybody was very calm. Danielle, they openly said what they made. They were the only couple that did that. What do you guys think about that?
They're more open with finances, obviously.
I think that means they're more open with everything. Like, again, very chill, very relaxed people that just don't overthink. I'm not saying the other 2 couples overthink, but I was so intrigued. I'm into human dynamics, obviously, and behavioral type of stuff. So
really?
I was like, wow. I was like, I can't believe they're the only ones that did it, because I don't remember that from the other seasons.
Like anyone ever saying it?
I don't remember anyone writing it down and being like,
I would have done that.
I mean, that's very smart.
I would not. I don't know why I would have done that, but
why? Think about it. Why would you have done that?
Well, because I've always been like that kind of person. My friends always tell me I'm really weird with money.
What does that mean, weird with money?
Like, I don't think that. I take it a weird way when people just ask, so how much money do you, when people do that. Yeah. And a lot of people kind of do that, and my friends will do that. Yeah, my friends will say oh yeah, so how much money do you make? And it's different when you're and you work the same job or something and they already know, but when they're oh, how much money do you have in your account, or just something crazy, because people.
I have never been asked that question.
But I'm saying some friends, when you talk about certain things, I was talking to my friend yesterday and she was like, oh my God, did I tell you that I have $8,000 in my account now? I've been saving a lot, and I mean, it was an accomplishment, I guess, for her. So she was willing to share it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just not.
Yeah, you're
I just
private.
don't.
You're private
Yeah.
about it. That makes sense.
It was
That
how I
makes
was
sense.
raised, though. You know, that makes a difference.
I
too.
think I was raised very similarly, but I thought it was unique that they were writing it down. And part of me thought it was cool, but again, it showed me something about, that's almost what made me feel good about Danielle. I was just like, all right, they're open, they do it. And we saw Cody crack a joke.
He did.
He was just like, oh, that hurts my ego a little bit. And then there's that awkward music that they play. And like, just kidding. This episode and the music.
It was getting on my nerves. It gets on my nerves every single episode. It's like, come on.
Are you talking about Three's Company?
All of it.
Where they're like, dun 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 dun. Oh, Sheila, not get along with Reek the Freak. Dun 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 dun.
First of all, let's talk about that name. Like, what?
I bet they got that from Empire. Tyreek the Freak, you know, that's Lucius's brother on the show. I mean, I made an assumption, but I'm saying like when I heard Reek the Freak, I was like, I wonder if he got that from Lucius Lyons, but I don't really know. Either way, I thought that was cute. Did you guys notice, how do you pronounce it? St. Croix?
St. Croix.
St. Croix, thank you. I don't travel ever. I work too much.
Well, I don't know
Did you
if
notice
it's
he had
Croix,
a St.
right?
Croix hat on?
I think it's Croy, like the drink, like a liquor.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But he had a hat on. I thought that was cute. Nate brought him back a hat.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, really?
I thought he was just wearing it. Like,
Oh, no. I was like, oh, I think that was like a gift. And I don't know. I thought that was cute.
That's actually really cute. I did
Yeah.
not pick up on that.
Yeah. I liked the dynamic there.
I
But
actually saw it and said, what is Croy? Like, what brand is that? That's the first thing I thought.
Oh yeah. I thought it was cool. Of course, Sheila's set up to look like that something's gonna go wrong or that someone's gonna have something wrong. But again, that's another theme that I saw, which we talked about before. Everybody seemed to get along really well. I mean, we had some moments where they tried to intensify it with the music. You guys did a great job doing that. I was super scared. No, I love the show, but everyone seemed to get along. All the dynamics, everything, the conversations seem easy. So even with the house hunting. Nate loved the suspenders that you were wearing, by the way. You guys felt some type of way when they started moving. What was going on did I miss about Cody and his mom packing? You guys fell on the floor laughing. What was that about?
What did he say? I forget. Oh.
No, I thought it was over a shirt or something.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
the bear shirt. The bear shirt.
What does that mean, the bear
Well,
shirt?
she said that's your girl shirt. Like,
He held up like a very colorful
like
long sleeve shirt of a bear. It was like a purple shirt. It was a very interesting shirt. I've never seen a shirt like that.
Yeah?
And then his mom joked like it was the shirt he gets women in.
yeah.
Oh.
And we were like, we both literally were like, at the same time, like, what? Like that?
Oh, so that must be his mom having a personality, having some humor, being like, oh, that's the shirt you get women
Well, no, I
in.
think she was being serious. Like,
Yeah,
like
but
she
that's why
wasn't.
No
we
way.
giggled because we
She
couldn't
wasn't
really
joking.
tell.
She had
No
like
way.
no, it wasn't a
What?
joke.
I think she was joking, guys.
She legit had a straight face when she said it. It
All
wasn't
right,
like
Cody,
a joke.
tweet us. Let us know. Was your mom serious? Did you pick up women in the big bear shirt? And then Desola secretly wants to know. Send us a link to where to get that shirt because he wants one too.
Imagine me wearing that. Let's go to the chats really quick.
Yeah.
Hafsa M says, was tonight's episode Married at First Sight or an episode of House Hunters?
Oh.
That's a nice comment. I like House Hunters, so I liked this episode, Hafsa, but thank you. Winnie Paul, she's very happy about the new time slot. I'm glad you are.
Yes, us too,
and,
us too.
They're just saying, she's saying location's always an issue when it comes to like,
And it wasn't this
couples.
episode.
Yeah, they worked it out pretty well.
It has always been, oh my gosh, I think it was season 3. It was a huge, I mean, see, by the time the move-ins come, that is what, in my opinion, has caused friction and caused couples to not continue because of the location. Season 3, it happened. Season 4, there were some arguments. Season 1 was hard. I remember Courtney having a hard time with Jason, but they stayed together, which is great. But again, in this episode, everyone just compromised. I don't know if this was pre-prepping by the experts or better vetting or whatever that may be, but everybody, I wrote that. Everyone seemed optimistic. Everybody seemed to be together. They were helping each other, and that was that. It was like, oh, let's compromise. Let's make sure everybody's fair. The only upset we partially saw was the parking thing with Ashley, but
Which is so fair.
I'm nervous. I'm moving into a place with no parking for the first time, and that made me think of that. Which, yes, I mean, being a woman, you want to have a parking spot that's close. Who wants to walk home by yourself? at
Being a
night
guy,
like that?
you want a park spot. You don't want to drive around 20 minutes. That's
Yes.
irritating. You know what I mean? Like you keep driving around and you're like, oh, you leaving? You leaving? Oh, no, you're not? Okay. And then you get irritated, you know? I do want to say Sheila was a tad bit more likable this episode.
I think
you
we
know?
saw more of her.
I smiled a little bit, but of course she was the only one that had like still had little attitudes with certain things, you know.
See, but why? What was an attitude?
Not attitudes, but she's the only one that had little controversy over the apartment
Yeah, they
search.
did. They did. And you said
know.
that. You were like, a surprise, surprise.
Of course it would be her.
Duhan Dynasty is the one that's having issues. You didn't use
know.
that, but that's their
But
name
I mean,
too, just to let you know.
yeah.
Yeah, but see, again, I see her being a strong woman. So there's the difference. And she's strong, and she doesn't, the way she delivers it, I think it works for Nate. You know, I think it's good. And again, it's very neutral. Even her facial expressions when it's just very much like, why not, you know? And I think the other two ladies are more like chill and in reality more passive. Like, although Danielle might have been the more masculine energy and the initiator sexually and all those things, I see her being more passive. As soon as Cody steps up, I think she's going to be that. But I don't think Sheila, I did see where she had a strong personality in this one, but not attitude.
I think they are 100% going to argue about money. Like
Who? Which ones?
Sheila and Nate. There's 100%. Because Nate is the one who obviously
Footloose and fancy
likes to spend money. I even noticed certain things that he wears. Like he was wearing Prada shoes this episode.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He was wearing like another episode. I don't know if he's wearing Gucci or Louis Vuitton something, but I like noticed it. And Sheila, her style's not there really.
Yeah, she doesn't wear labels, or she's not a label
Well,
whore.
I mean, we don't know what it looks like,
Yeah.
but her style's just not really there, you know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like that's important to her. Maybe it is. I don't know. But so I feel like they're going to argue about money 100%.
Oh yeah, and she made a comment.
Yeah.
She was like really surprised that he doesn't watch it, but he's like, you know, we might go, and she's like, yeah, we might not. So
She's like, well, what if you are here in 5 years? And I'm with her on that though.
yeah,
It makes sense.
totally, because he loved the big glamorous house, you know, the one that was like, I mean, I'm the same way though. When I'm like, oh man, I almost will like spend just to make myself work harder. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some arguments there, and I even think, again, I saw in this episode with A Squared, I think there's going to be some dynamic that we're going to see. We see in the previews. Sister.
Yeah.
Talk
I've been
about
saying
babies.
it.
I know you have.
He is not going to like her.
Desola, why are you always right?
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm
or
being serious.
I was like, is she being sarcastic? I don't know.
No, I'm being serious.
Well, that's a great question. I have no idea. But I don't know if I'm always right, but I saw that from the beginning.
Yeah,
you can
you
tell
did.
just by his expressions, like, this girl's going to be irritating. And she is kind of irritating. So.
I'm so surprised. I'm just not expecting that from him. Like, I'm expecting him, being a family-oriented person, to be a little bit more understanding, but we'll see.
I mean, he said it in many different outfits in different confessionals. Like, okay, ask your sister. I'm really afraid she's going to influence the marriage.
But that
Yeah.
must make her a very intense person, because he seems very open and chill. So if he's having this much conflict with her, she clearly is a huge personality.
I wonder if Ashley has the same personality, but with the editing, we're not necessarily seeing it. Like, we're seeing her delivery be sweet. We're seeing her be like, you know, whatever that you want to describe it as. But, you know, when she wanted that parking spot, she was very much like, it doesn't have parking. Boom, foot down. So I wonder if they're similar, and
I think they are, because, well, Ashley, remember when I said she's the one that will punch the holes in the condom?
Yes.
I said that because...
No, wait, I don't remember
What?
that.
I said that.
I don't remember. When was that? You
don't
just said
remem-
that, like, now in this conversation?
No, like on a
I was like,
you remember on past episodes when I said that, and I was like, she's crazy, and I kept doing that.
No, I don't remember that.
That was the episode when you guys weren't here.
Oh, okay.
Never
okay.
mind. Never mind. I said that. I was like, wait, what are you talking about, Allie? I said that to her. Anyways, I said that because she's like, I feel like she's aggressive in a mild way.
In the way
Like,
that she was raised well, to be like,
I mean,
they're not going to be, a man wouldn't be able to see how aggressive she is, but he'll be like,
I mean, he can see it. I mean, I could see it. Like, you know, when she was talking about having sex, she would kind of just
yes.
bring it up and kind of give a look, you know. And same thing with the baby. She's like, yeah, I want to have babies, and you know, she just kind of like, so it's aggressive. It's like passive aggressive, you know.
Yeah.
So I think she is.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see. And speaking of being passive aggressive, right? You always need an expert to help you in any of those moments. So let's talk about Pastor Cal's expertise. Rachel did some good things too that I want to bring up, but I want to start with Pastor Cal, right? Moving in with each other is unifying each other's lives. You learn all the dirty little secrets, especially if they leave a mess on the pillow. What is that?
I understood it.
I
No,
don't
what
think
is
it
that
was weird. I
What?
mean, people drool and stuff.
Is that what he's talking about? Leaving a mess on the pillow? Is it just
Yeah.
drool?
Yeah. What else do you?
I
What
don't
else
know.
do
That
you
was just weird. I was
okay.
like, what,
You don't
what is someone-
choose to leave to drool. It just happens.
I mean, but what kind of a mess? What kind of a mess could someone leave?
Well,
on the
when
pillow?
so here's the thing. It depends on what color your pillowcases are. Because if you have like a black or like a darker color one, you know, if you drool and slobber, it's gonna dry up. and you will see it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And it looks like white stains, which you can think are something else. I don't know. But there's like white stains all over the pillowcase. Compared to if you have like a white pillowcase or something, you're not going to see it. So that's what he meant.
Okay, so he was just talking about drooling.
What other mess would you leave on the pillow?
That's what I was saying. I was like,
where's your mind going?
I'm just saying, I never even like what mess on the pillow. Like what? I'm assuming like mess on the sheets if they have dirty feet,
or like sleeping with makeup on.
Yeah,
just like anything can happen.
Okay. See, now I didn't think about that. The mess. I can I didn't get that one. Over my head. Over my head.
It's okay. You have us.
But thank you. And also Rachel said some good stuff too. Okay, when it was coming to the finances, you have to get clear on those finances and make sure that you're communicating about that, because if not, it could ruin and be the demise of a relationship. They keep stressing communication. Do you guys really think that talking about these, yes, because they're getting married at first sight, it is, but talking about these things this early on and this intensely is really going to make or break the couples? Do you think it's that important and crucial?
Yes, because you typically talk about this stuff before you get married, because you notice different patterns with people. So if you notice that you're really good with money, but the person that you're into is not, that could be a reason why you might not marry them, because if they're reckless, that can ruin everything. They say that that's the number one reason for divorce, finances.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure that's the number one reason. So, finances it's a big deal.
Wow.
Because think about it, if you're going out making however much money you're making, and you guys have a joint account with your husband, and he's reckless and buys everything in the world, and you go to your account and you have $100 left when you just deposited $3,000.
Yeah, that's
you know what
horrible.
I mean?
Oh,
it's like, and that happens to people. Wow. So
wow. And on that note, now knowing how serious it is, again, all of these couples, when they had the conversation, were very much like open. They seemed very open and received it well. And even when Danielle was like, maybe you can help me budget.
I like that.
Me too. What did you like about that?
I felt like she was warming up to him.
Yeah.
So I felt like she trusted him then, because she hasn't trusted him at all in the entire process. And right then I was like, wow, something happened where she's like, okay, I can trust him. I can depend on him in some way, shape, or form.
Ooh, now that's interesting. So I'm going to kind of read between the lines here. Now, it's all been put on Cody. Cody's awkward. Cody's not initiating. Cody's not a manly man. But do you believe Danielle has been closed off, which has caused Cody to pull back, i.e. ask for the just friends, since he says what he thinks people wants to hear? He's insecure. Well, she's not coming towards me. She seems closed off. So maybe I should say, let's be friends, start slow. Do you think that she's been closed off or not trusting from the beginning until that moment?
I think she, as much as she says she's outgoing, she has some, I don't know what it is, but she doesn't seem very open at the same, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I feel like when you're being judged. Whether someone says something to you or not, you can tell by their actions, their facial expressions, all of it. So Danielle judged Cody a lot. And, she would mention, oh, I typically like guys who are more this, or are you afraid?
Yeah.
Or, so that in itself would push me back and say, oh my God, like you feel uncomfortable even being yourself because you know that the person is judging everything you do, So
Yes.
I think that is the reason why Cody was
saying, let's just be friends, because maybe
was pulling back, because if someone's judging you so much.
Yeah.
And you feel it, So
yeah, absolutely.
I think that was a big part of it. But I think she's opening up to him, and I like it. Actually, I was smiling a lot when they were together, because I was like, okay, I'm liking her a lot more. I never disliked her, but I'm liking her a lot more, and I'm liking them together more.
Yes.
Before I didn't think about them. I was like, whatever, you guys. But now I'm seeing something.
Yes, and it's at a pace that is healthy. It is at a pace that is healthy. So at the very end of it, again, I wrote down like the only relationship that's not talking like they're already married is Danielle, because everyone else is referring to A squared. It's like, oh, my husband, oh, my wife. Okay, Duhan Dynasty, Nate and Sheila, the same thing. They are very much like, oh, like Sheila was like, I can't wait to do this with my husband. We're gonna have little Duhans running around. Them not talking like that does scare me, but I agree. I think tonight we really saw two people with good energy together starting to open up towards each other, trust more, and take it to that level. Yes.
Let me say why this does not scare me at all.
Okay.
If we really think about it, the only normal couple in this whole situation is Danielle and Cody. Because when you first start dating someone, forget the word married. Just think when you first start dating someone, everyone has that awkward moment, that awkward time where it's like, okay, I don't know if it's time for this. I don't know if we should do this. This is uncomfortable. Is it time to speak about this yet? So they're the only ones that are really doing the regular, like, dating things that you do. Like when you first meet someone, you take steps and you take steps. Everyone else is kind of just jumping into everything, which might be a negative. Because think about it, being impulsive is not a good personality trait. So if the other ones, they're just jumping into it, like, oh yeah, this is the person, blah blah blah, and that's kind of, and when I really think about it, that's kind of not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like they're taking their time, which is good because they're really going to get to know each other. Maybe compared to some of the other ones who are just like Ashley and
A Squared.
yeah, who are just going in and they're like in love with each other already, but then when you're like so head over heels, you ignore certain things.
Yeah, and then it shows
up
up later and you start arguing.
And you're like,
about it.
oh wait, hold on, So I think they're like the most regular paced ones.
I think they're the most regular paced one, but that doesn't necessarily align with the show. Like even Pastor Cal said, you got to be completely sold out. Like you got to be all in. And the two other couples are there. I see your perspective and I see that they're taking their time, but even Cody's language there at the end, I'm going to paraphrase, but he said something along the lines of, oh, when we move in, then we'll really be able to see if it works. Like
I noticed that.
Like the language is already, but I think that's his own insecurity.
But it's been a week.
Yeah.
Like we have to remember that it's been a week.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to meet someone and say, oh yeah, we're going to get married within a week. Like I don't
mark
know
my
you.
words, May 18th, 2017. That's not, you will be the one that meets somebody and immediately you're going to be like,
believe me, I'm not that person. I'm the person that will be engaged for like 5 years.
That's what they all say.
I'm the person that will be engaged for like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years.
No girl is going to wait 5, 6, 7 years unless you meet her right now.
They do.
Your engagement?
No. Well, did I say that?
No, you just said that you're going to wait.
No, I'm saying like just in general.
Oh, I thought you said.
Whoa, I might have said that, but I'm saying just in general.
But
like,
Ashley left the dude that was with her for 5 years because he
she
didn't put a
waited
ring
for
on
5 years though. That's the point. So I'm saying like I'm not an impulsive person. What do you think about that?
5 years?
Do you think
Tessa? Do you think 5 years is too long?
5 years to wait to ask someone to marry you?
What do you mean? Because I've been
wait
dating
for
my
someone to
boyfriend right now for like 4.5 years.
But how old are you?
But I'm 24.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That makes sense.
But
so I said,
people
unless you meet her right now, being your age, if waiting that long makes
Okay.
sense. But when you are 27, 28, 29, when you cross that bridge of 27, waiting 5, 3, 6,
You'll
7
be 32.
years.
That's great.
But it's a great time to get married. But most people that are that age have a different thought form attached to it, which is like, if this person at this age doesn't know that they want to marry me, this is not going to happen.
I don't believe in the clock. I talk to people about this all the time. I don't believe in the, oh my God. I think that's a huge problem with people, especially women. I'm 30 years old. I need to get married.
But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that because it's 30, because I'm saying that the mindset is different. It's like when adults date, you know or you don't. It's not like, let's hook up, let's wait, let's hook up with a couple other people. It's it's when you know. Adults are like, you know what, let's try it. If it lasts 3 weeks, it lasts 3 weeks.
I think that's why the divorce rate is so high, because people are too impulsive. People just
I totally disagree. I think the divorce rate is so high because we have people sticking around for a ring that are there for 5, 6, 7 years once they get to that age, and the reason that men are marrying some of these women is because they're like, she stuck through me through this, she stuck with me through that, I might as well put a ring on her finger. It's what I should do, it's right. And we're at that age, and that is what leads to unhappy marriages. So you think the divorce rate is higher for people who have been dating for years and years compared to people who get impulsively get married? You're taking it out of context.
I'm not.
I'm not, but I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying, do I think impulsiveness could also cause divorce? Absolutely. But do I also think that the stand by your man, she was loyal to me, and they're marrying her because he feels guilty or something along those lines to get married, that causes it too? Yes, that causes complacency.
Sometimes it can be the women who don't want to get married also. This is both ways. So you're saying stand by your man.
No, but I'm using that as a phrase.
Okay.
I'm using that as a phrase.
Yeah.
And they're staying by their woman because they're like, she stuck with me through this. I'm going to put a ring on her finger. She gets her ring. She gets the babies. But he's sitting there like, I didn't really want to marry her. I did it because she stayed with me for so long.
Okay, that's a whole different thing.
That's what I meant context-wise.
That's a whole different thing. You should never marry some... That's another thing I talk to people about all the time. Never, ever. Well, because, never marry someone because they want to marry you.
Yes.
Never date someone because they want to date you. Mm-hmm. You do it because you want to do it. Like, it's a mutual thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't get married because, once again, women are known for pressuring guys to marry them. there's a reason why he hasn't asked you to marry him yet.
Yeah,
You know what I
totally.
mean?
I mean, I'm on
So-
that boat. I'm not going to say only women just because I just can't.
I'm not saying
but,
only,
No,
but-
I know. But being a woman, I can't necessarily say that. But I agree, and I coach women on this all the time. If you focus on that ring, you will run him off, and he'll end up giving it to you. And I swear to God, it's going to feel worse than it is. Like it just will. So there is that pressure there, and that is not that's not right, because a ring changes everything. Labels always change everything, and it's not always for the positive, right? It becomes something totally different. So definitely, that's why I love this show. The people that are on the show, they want to be married, or at least they think they do. And it's good. At least you have two people that you're connecting through experts that want to be married that impulsively, that quickly, and that's a beautiful thing. And that's what makes this show great, because at least we know we got one thing in common: they're ready to be married for whatever reason that is.
What do you think?
But do you think all 6 of them are ready to be married?
Well, ready in their mind, like the forefront of their mind, or subconsciously.
Like, do you think that they are?
I think that all of them are, except 2.
Cody and Danielle.
No comment.
But that's what you're.
I'm just saying. I think all of them are
Cody and
except 2, but them not being ready isn't because of a like oh, I secretly saying I'm ready, but I'm not ready because I've been sabotaged. No, I just think that maturity wise, that there are some things that need to develop. And some not necessarily experience, because I think a lack of experience sometimes helps people not. If you go in green, like Cody, if Cody goes in as a clean slate, because to me Cody is a clean slate, like that's why I love him. He is somebody that like is coming in with not a lot of baggage. He might be a little insecure, but we know that's from the weight thing. But if you're coming in clear of baggage and not bringing and projecting from a past relationship, which destroys relationships heavily, you can make for the best relationship.
She brings up her ex-boyfriends a lot. I don't know
Yes.
if you've noticed that. She does it a lot. And I was going to say, the experience, I don't know. It just depends on the person when it comes to experience. I have a friend who, her boyfriend had experience, but not like her. You know what I mean? Like, it was very, like, very minimal compared to her. And she absolutely loved it. Because she's like, I can shape him to be who I want him to be. And not shape him like,
No, you train them.
personality-wise,
you train
but,
them.
but
Yes.
other things, you know?
That's why Cody
and she loved
is,
it. So,
Cody is a prime
but I don't
pick.
think that's good for Danielle, because Danielle wants someone who's already like that, whatever she expects a man to be, or whatever.
Yeah, but all you have to do, which I think Danielle would be really good at this, all you really have to do is empower that man. You know, you have to empower him the right way.
Give them
and when you
confidence
and when you train, like, and I hate to say it like this, but it's true. Like when you train them the way to be, and I'm using
The
train
word
as
train is so
I know,
strong.
and I hate saying it too, but it's the only one I know right now. But when you can mold them into that and really show them, especially when they have such a great relationship with their mother. Cody has a great relationship. He respects women. It's just a perfect dynamic. So I think her being a dietitian into that holistic approach with everything in life, she will be able to empower him if she's ready. She'll have that energy to empower him that could turn him into a very confident man.
Maybe I was gonna say, I don't feel like she seems more of the one to bring you down.
Maybe.
Because,
maybe.
Like, you know, everyone is not like that to where they're going to say you're the one, like you're the best, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
She seems opposite, because everything she kind of says to him when she doesn't like something is negative.
Yeah, when we see her on air right now,
So-
she's definitely
so
pointing
I don't
out where
think-
he's lacking.
Yeah, you know, and that's bad, because it's only been a week and you're already pointing all that out.
Yeah.
But what about when he really makes you mad?
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to say? You know what I mean?
Sure,
So,
great point. Absolutely. So on that topic, we don't know where the future is going to take us, so let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Ooh.
We'll start over there with Tessa, as usual. Tessa, your predictions for this episode, please.
Okay, so A squared. I think we've all talked about this already, but I do see Ashley's sister being a large problem in the upcoming episodes. I think Ashley will start to be torn between the two, having them both now in her life, because they're both very important people to her now, and so I think there's gonna be like major conflict there. And I think the baby thing again will continue to be a conflict with them. With Nate and Sheila, what I found interesting that I was telling Sheila right before we started is she always calls him Nathan, not Nate, which to me kind of seems motherly, like controlling, just when you use someone by a full name.
Controlling Sheila. That sounds
I
crazy.
I think it's. Oh no, I'm sorry. We'll go for
Finish
another
your
20.
thought.
Yeah, we'll go for another 20 minutes.
So, I see a power struggle with the apartment. I think there's going to be a power struggle, and I see it with Nate feeling like he's going to be the man of the house. He has his wife, he has his brother, but then I see Sheila thinking she's the woman of the house, and I think that's where their next argument is going to be about. And then the families, we saw a little bit of that, so that'll be interesting. And then Danielle, I think I'm going to like them more, because I like them more now, and I don't really know what that means, but I just think they're going to continue to grow together. Yeah. I still don't think they'll end up together. I've said that this whole season, but
we'll see. Thank you.
We'll see.
Thank you.
I don't know what I'm thinking now because of what she just said and what our conversation was.
Use your intuition.
Okay, I'm
Use
going to
your
go to
intuition in
Nate
these
and Sheila
predictions.
first. She made a really good point. It took me back to the beginning when we saw the like special episode where Nate kept saying how he wanted a woman, he wants to take care of her, he wanted her to be his queen, like he wants to be the man of the house, but he got a very aggressive woman, like very aggressive, who might not be able to take that place and just be the woman. She always says she wants to be taken care of and stuff, but she doesn't portray that. She doesn't show that with just her personality. So I think you have a good point with power struggles. Like he might want to set rules, but then Sheila will want to set rules. And Sheila's very like, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to have a fit, because that's how she's been acting. You know what I mean? In my opinion, she's been very like she's going to say, Nate, you don't understand me. You just don't get it. Like, again and again and again. It's going to get old. So I see that. When it comes to Ashley and Anthony, I still feel it. I think there will be a lot of conflict with the sister. I've been saying that from the beginning because she's very aggressive. But I think they'll be able to get over it, hopefully. Danielle and Cody now. After our conversation, I'm kind of thinking a little differently about them. In the beginning, I said I don't think they were going to make it. I didn't think they were matched well at all. But when we got into our conversation about them being the most regular couple, I'm kind of starting to think a little differently now.
Cool.
I'm starting to think, maybe they're the ones that can actually like really grow together because they're really taking it really slow. Even if she doesn't want to take it slow, that's how you do relationships typically, like regular relationships, So that might turn out really well. You never know. They might be the one. They might be pregnant before any other couple.
Oh.
I just got a vision.
Oh my, a vision. Damn. I love it.
I see it. You know what? I'm calling it right now today. Danielle and Cody are going to be the first ones that are going to be pregnant out of all the couples.
We'll see. Mark it down. I like it.
You mentioned me being right all the time.
Yes, use us. High fives. All right, let's see. My predictions. I disagree with both of you on Sheila and Nate. I think that when Nate's referring to being a king, like being a king is actually empowering your queen. And we see him do that. I want her to feel like she's my queen, i.e. I want her to have the final decision. So I think their dynamic's only going to get stronger. I think that the editing is going to try to make us think that it's not, but I see a great dynamic brewing there, a good Three's a Company experience, and I think that she and him are just we're gonna keep seeing this whole faith thing. I mean, oh my God, I cried. I think that that's just gonna keep blowing all of us out of the water. So I think that's gonna be strong. Danielle, closer and closer. I think they're going to have sex the next episode. I think I said that last time. I think I'm just wishful thinking right now because I want to see how they change. So I'm just saying that. A squared, I think that we're going to see an intense conversation with Anthony and Ashley. Anthony to Ashley. And Ashley is going to put her foot down and say, Anthony, I don't care what you think. She's my sister. So I think she's going to put her foot down and stand strong on that and not going to receive his feedback on the sister well. Don't think it's going to cause any huge problems. I think Anthony's going to be like, okay. But I don't think she's going to be like, oh, Anthony, I'm sorry. I'll tell Lauren to be quiet. I think that's her sister's name. I think she's just going to stand firm. It's going to cause some conflict. But he picks and chooses his battles, which is a thing that all men should learn, to pick and choose their battles. And that's that.
Women also.
Oh, yeah. Women too. Yeah. Women too. Pick your battles. Great. So, guys, I think that's it. Let's wrap it up. Thanks so much for watching. Tessa, tell the fans where they can find you.
You guys can find me on all social media at Tessa_Cevaal.
You all can find me at Desola_B every single place. Make sure to get in those chats or the comments that you say on YouTube. We love going back, reading, replying, and everything. So thanks for watching.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are going to be waking up on your morning drive, good morning to you. It's Heather Yerrid. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Heather Yerrid. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.